Welcome to MDL Crochet, where we're going to talk about diagram symbols today. So if you see this symbol means chain. So if it says that symbol times 50, you'll chain 50. Or if it shows the symbol right next to each other, that means you're chaining that many chains. This next symbol means Tunisian simple stitch, and all that means is you're just going to go in and you're going to do a simple stitch. Just like that, you're going to do that all the way down for wherever that symbol is. And a Tunisian simple stitch is very simple. It is one of the base 5 stitches. You just go through the bar, yarn over, and pull up your loop. Again, you go through the vertical bar, yarn over, and pull up your loop. That is the Tunisian simple stitch, and that's what that symbol means. Now, if you see this symbol, it looks like a teardrop upside down. And what that symbol means is it's the Tunisian knit stitch. Now the knit stitch is you're going to go in between the vertical bars. You got a front bar, and then you have a back bar. And that back bar, so you'll take your needle and you'll slide it in to where you're separating the two bars, and then shoot out the back. Yarn over, pull up that loop. That is a knit stitch, and you can see how it's splitting it and bringing that back bar forward. That is a knit stitch. We'll do it one more time. A knit stitch, you go in, kind of shoot out the back, and that's where you're going to pull up your yarn over and your yarn and your loop. Now if you see this symbol, well, what that symbol means, it means that stitch needs to be purled. So you're going to be doing a purl stitch. And to do a purl stitch, you just bring your yarn in front of your needle before you pull up your loop. Bring your yarn in front of your needle, go into the vertical bar, drop your yarn, let it go behind and let it hug that loop. You just let it hug that bar, yarn over, and pull up that loop. We'll do it one more time. Yarn goes in front. You'll pull up, go through the vertical bar, drop your line, let it go all the way around, and then you'll yarn over and pull up your loop. That is a purl. If you see this symbol, what that symbol means is you're going into the horizontal bar. You have your vertical bars, and then you have a horizontal bar in the back. Top of your loops, the chain, that symbol means that's where you're going to go. You're going to pull up your yarn through that top loop. That's exactly what that symbol means. And again, that top loop, if you follow your horizontal bar all the way to the top, and then look, you can see a little bar right there. That's where you're going to put your needle and pull up your loop. We'll do it one more time. And then you have your normal end stitch. The end stitch symbol can change. As long as it's denoted as it is the last stitch, you're going to know that it is the end stitch. Sometimes they'll do 2 vertical bars. Sometimes they'll do a upside down hump, upside down curve. They'll denote the last stitch different ways, but it'll be obvious that that is the last stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and do a return pass. So that's where the next symbol comes into, is if you see this symbol, that means it's a return pass. And you'll just do your standard return pass, which at the very end is after you got your last loop pulled up, you'll chain 1, and then you'll yarn over and pull through 2, and you'll yarn over, pull through 2, all the way down to the end until you only have that 1 loop left on your hook. So the next symbol we're going to look at, the Tunisian reverse symbol. And it looks like this. And to do a reverse stitch, all you're doing is you're pulling up everything in the back. Now there's different ways you can do this. Now I have an easy way that I like to do it. And that way is I like to take my needle, I like to poke through from back. Grab that back bar. And then you just yarn over and pull up your loop. The other way is you can just bend your work, find that back bar, yarn over, pull the loop. I like to do it, this is easier for me because it's less bending of your work. You just take your needle, go into the gap, split the 2 bars, yarn over and pull up your loop. You don't have anything fancy to do. You're not bending your work, you're not bending yourself. It's a lot easier just to, again, go through the gap and pull up your back loop. So the next symbol after this, we're going to start getting into some wonky looking symbols. But I'll break it down for you. So if you see this symbol, kind of weird, I know. It means the circle means you're going to yarn over, and then the line, depending on which way that incline is done, if it's done this way, it means you're going to go through 2, and then it's simple stitching 2 together and pulling up your loop. Again, it's a yarn over, simple stitch 2 together, which is going through 2, yarn over and pull up that loop. That's exactly what that one means. Now, the opposite symbol means something different, but not. It means you're going to simple stitch through 2 and then yarn over. Again, simple stitch through 2 and then yarn over. The reason why for the yarn over is when you're simple stitching through 2, you're taking a stitch away. So you need to add that stitch back, which the yarn over comes into play. So if you see this symbol, it could be either way. It just means you're simple stitching 2 together. That is all that symbol means. You're just going to go through and you're simple stitching 2 together. Now, you're probably going to make it up on the return pass if you're taking one away. So you need to pay attention to the symbols on the return pass, because if there's this symbol on the return pass, remember that is our chain symbol. Or if there's this symbol. Now this symbol means you're chaining 3. So 1, 2, 3. And it could also mean one other thing. The other thing that it can mean, and it's all about where it's placed, is it a slip stitch? Because sometimes that can be denoted as a slip stitch. And that would be a slip stitch, is where you just pull up your loop and then slip it off. It's also known as the bind off. So this next symbol, it looks weird, it looks complicated, but it really isn't. As you can see, it has 3 points to where it would be touching your pattern. So what that means is you're going to go through 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then you'd yarn over and pull through all 3. That's exactly what that would mean. Of course, if you're doing a decrease on your forward pass, more than likely you're going to make it up on your return pass. So you would have to pay attention to your return passes. Now, this symbol just means you're going to go through 2, but you're doing it as a purl. So you start with the purl, which is put your yarn in front of your needle, and then go through 2 stitches. Simple stitch 2 together, drop your yarn, and then you'll yarn over and pull through those 2. You just purled 2. Legends on, or the keys or legends on most patterns will tell you what that symbol means. I'm just giving you a base breakdown of what these symbols mean. Now this next symbol means full stitch. And to do a full stitch, you literally are just going through the gaps in between each vertical bar. You skip in this first one. You never put it in the first one except for on the actual, if you're doing 2 rows of full stitches, then you would offset it. But we're not doing that, so this symbol means full stitch. So wherever it shows up on the graph is where you're going to do a full stitch. And again, a full stitch is just, you have a vertical bar here and a vertical bar there. You're going to the gap in the middle of them, and you're just going to put your needle into that gap, yarn over, and pull up your loop. That is a full stitch. So this last symbol, it does look complicated, and I know it does. But let's break it down. Well, we have 2 circles, and then we had 3 points that would be touching our chain or our work. So that means we're going to go through 3, but we have a circle before and a circle after. So the circle means you're going to yarn over, and then we're going to go through 3. 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over and pull through. So we got all our 3. And then we're going to yarn over again. That is all that means. It means you're going to yarn over, simple stitch 3 together, and then yarn over. And that is all there is to the commonly used Tunisian crochet diagram symbols. Now, if you found this tutorial helpful, please consider giving me a like and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. And leave me a comment. I will chit-chat with you. But until next time, folks, keep stitching.